Hi guys, I'm Claudia from Small and Small, and I'm standing here in our Theodore Reserve Sauvignon Blanc vineyard, and I've been out walking the rows because I've been wanting to check out how flowering's going in this block. Now obviously all the flowers in a grapevine block don't flower at exactly the same time. Life would be much easier if it did, but it doesn't work that way. So there's always a variation in timing with flowering, and when we talk about a good flowering, we're talking about lots of the flowers turning into berries, and generally that happens, the biggest contributing factor is weather and temperature. So we've been having pretty warm weather. It was a bit cool. It actually got really cold yesterday, but it's now warming up again this afternoon, and forecast for the rest of the week's looking great. So hopefully all the Sauvignon Blanc flowering will be happening really fast, and it will be a really even, good flowering. So if we have, but what does flowering look like? So if we have a look, I've just got some inflorescences as examples. So here is an inflorescence that hasn't got any flowers open. You'll see that there's like little green balls, and they actually look a bit like your grandmother's pincushion with different segments coming down off them. And this is where the flower cap hasn't come off. And so this is, if we looked at this bunch, we'd say it was like 0% flowering. Then once those caps start to loosen, they actually peel off from the top. They're 5 segments, and they peel up like a banana in the mornings. They peel faster if it's warmer. And once those caps have peeled off, you get to have a look at a bunch that looks a bit like this. And you'll see there are sort of long creamy white anthers which hold up, long creamy white filaments, and then on the end of them there's like a little yellow dot, and that's the anther with all the pollen that then hopefully lands on one of these little round balls, lands on the top of the ovary, the potential ovary, and once that pollen lands there, it sprouts a little pollen tube, and that pollen tube needs to grow down through the style and around into where the ovules are. And if that pollen tube successfully does that, then that means that individual berry has fertilized, or that individual ovary has fertilized, and it will form, in all likelihood, a berry. Now the speed of that growth of those pollen tubes is really dictated by temperature, and so that's why when we have cold flowerings, the pollen tubes grow much slower, and it's less likely that they will successfully fertilize their ovary. So when there's been warm weather like this, the pollen tubes grow really fast, and it means we'll get a higher percent set, or a higher percentage of the flowers turning into berries, and then finally ripening and us being able to turn them into wine. So grapevines are funny things. Only about sort of 20 to 40% of flowers that are in this vineyard will actually turn into grape berries. So it's quite low. And the good thing about a good fast flowering is that it means that, one, we're more likely to get more berries, which means you get more delicious wine, but you're also more likely to have the maturity, like the sugar levels of those berries being more even, like being closer together. And so it means they're all, hopefully, in an ideal world, we want like every berry to ripen perfectly on the same day, which obviously doesn't happen. But when we get a quick flowering, you're more like that. You get less variation during harvest. So things are looking pretty good. Yeah, pretty happy with flowering this year, especially after last year. So you're looking at this, you'll be drinking this, as this inflorescence will go into our Theodore Reserve Vintage 2022, and you'll be able to drink that in about 2 years, I guess. I think you need to use your imagination. Doesn't look super appetizing at the moment, but I promise you it's going to taste delicious. Yeah, so here's hoping that we have good weather for the rest of the week, and that all our beautiful flowers, or as many flowers as possible, can turn into gorgeous Theodore Reserve berries. So I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.